So what is protein sparing? Protein sparing is intentionally eating less protein to off for more carbs. How to leverage this? When you're bulking, you have more calories to consume, or you will have an abundance of calories in your system or energy. So your body naturally have a more better hormonal profile and everything. And it will burn down your muscles when you're working out. Not unlike when you're on a hunt. Your body is in survival mode, or think it's in survival mode. So protein sparing, it's increasing your carb intake and fat intake and prioritizing it more than the protein intake. It's not, it's not, it doesn't mean, excuse me, doesn't mean you're gonna eat less protein overall. But when you're bulking, your bread and butter is literally carbs and fats, literal bread and butter plus protein. Protein satiates you. So if you are really skinny or you have a low muscle mass, not that high, like the bodybuilders, they can eat a ton of protein because their body actually absorbs it and they don't feel as full. And if you're really skinny, I don't know, if you pack on so much protein in one meal or in your overall meal for the day, you're probably gonna be so full that your appetite is gonna be messed up or you're gonna eat less food. But it's just okay. You got quality food, quality protein. We're not gonna neglect protein, but the priority is in the carbs. And I know the advice is to take 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight or 0.8 something. But when you're bulking, don't be afraid to eat. We hit less than that. Personally, me, I don't track my protein intake since I just eyeball it, or I don't eyeball it, but I just eat a ton of protein in my lunch and my dinner, less on my breakfast. Protein satiates again. This is why I don't eat it a ton in the morning. I usually eat a ton of protein in my breakfast or lunch in midnight. Although when it's midnight or nighttime, I have a tip. Since we're prioritizing bulking, excuse me, we're prioritizing carbs intake and fat intake. I find that eating a ton of carbs before you sleep, especially in the night, will get you knocked out or you will sleep faster than normal because of the insulin spike. So another tip, protein satiates you in practical use. So when you're eating, you have to, in a sense, a disproportionate amount of carbs to protein ratio. Example, when I'm eating protein and protein source of chicken and rice, since since in our culture you tend to eat more rice and you will get frowned upon if you eat too much dishes or protein. So I managed to leverage that. I eat. I will take a small bite of chicken or small bite of course, there's a ton of protein in my plate, enough for me. But you're gonna take a small bite of the chicken or protein source you have, and take a 2 to 3 more of rice or potatoes than than the protein or the chicken meat. So you're intentionally disproportionating your meal or your food to offer more carb and fats. Example, that rice maybe has some boiling it if you fried it, right? So when you're bulking, you have a leeway to eat more carbs and fats, which can be more fun. You can eat your favorite food. First, personally, I like honey, butter, and oats. So off when you're protein sparing, off for more clean sources or less processed sources. The less processed, the better. Plus protein, excuse me, carbs and fats are easier to down than protein. Protein can sometimes be, a little bit expensive. It's your body, so invest in your body. What else? So that is all, I think. Don't be afraid to eat less protein. I know it can be scary a bit. Oh, what if I lose my mass? You're bulking, bro, so you're probably gonna maintain it. And plus, carbs is fuel. It all comes down to timing. For example, if you want to focus for your studies, you might want to eat most of your protein before that. For example, in the morning, you want to study, eat, eat a ton of protein. And then after, eat a ton of carbs, right? Plus, you're gonna eat a lot of oats and honey, which is fun. You can make bulking fun, right? I know the they do demonize carbs. But if especially if you are an athlete, you cannot neglect it. Especially when you're bulking trying to build muscle. It's your energy source in a sense. But you need to watch out, however, for what is the word? For the processed carbs and fats. For example, if you going out a lot in restaurants and malls, and for example, you see a thing you love that might trigger your, you know, sweet tooth. So you might want to watch out for that. Since you're allowed to eat more carbs, you usually have to have leeway, right? Don't be don't be immature. Bulk and eat some sweets or treats if you want, but don't overdo it. Prioritize for whole foods. Tom Haviland, for example, 6'8" mass, excuse me, is a lifter that has freakish strength. He eats a ton of carbs, right? Yes, he also eats a lot of protein. So of course, he's that. So that's one of the thing I noticed. I tend to eat more carbs and fats, and it helps. So don't be afraid. Again, don't be afraid. And that is all. And click the link in the description for my bulking program or in my about info in my YouTube. Go to my channel and take the link to gain access to my paid product and or course. It has the community too. So aside from the educational topic that I gathered from my years of experience, you will also get access to that video where we can talk about it. For example, if you have some really personal issues or specific discussion about in general. So join us, join the program. Nobody. That is so. See.